Hello my dear friends, I'm Dr. Vaishali Bharembe, Professor Anatomy. This video is about how to draw sections of Pons. How to draw section of lower section or upper section of Pons. Let's begin by drawing a lower section of Pons. Come, take color pencils, take a nice big drawing sheet and begin to draw. Enjoy the process, it's simple, it's beautiful. So let's begin to draw the section of Pons. First, begin to draw such bumps. This is the floor of fourth ventricle. Okay. Now, go anteriorly and draw such swellings. This here is your basilar sulcus and these are the swellings of Pons on either side. Now draw the middle cerebellar peduncle and the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now let's draw a line separating the basilar pons from the tegmental pons. Now begin to draw small sections of corticospinal, corticobulbar, corticopontine fibers as they break up in the basilar pons. Now let's go to the lemniscal band. So let's draw the medial lemniscus, the trigeminal lemniscus, the spinal lemniscus. Now let's go to the cochlear and vestibular nuclei. Dorsal cochlear nucleus, ventral cochlear nucleus, vestibular nucleus. Now let's draw the nuclei which lie one layer behind the lemniscal band, the trapezoid nucleus, the superior olivary nuclear complex, the main nucleus and the accessory nuclei as well. Now let's draw the tracts in the center. Medial longitudinal fasciculus, tectospinal tract, rubrospinal tract. Remember MTR, always in the center. On either side of midline, draw the facial nerve nucleus, the abducens nerve nucleus. Laterally here, the superior salivatory nucleus. Further lateral to that, the nucleus of tractus solitarius and the spinal tract and nucleus of trigeminal nerve. The ventral spinocerebellar tract and the central tegmental tract. There. That completes your basic diagram of section of Pons. Now let's color it. Remember the tegmentum to be colored differently, the basilar pons to be colored differently, the peduncles to be colored differently. Now the lemniscal band, now the ventral and dorsal cochlear nuclei, vestibular nucleus, the motor nucleus of abducens and facial, the MTR, superior salivatory and nucleus of tractus solitarius, trigeminal nucleus, the ventral spinocerebellar tract, the superior salivatory nuclear complex, the central tegmental tract. There, you have a beautiful diagram. Let's color the corticospinal tracts as well. Let's now revise this. Okay, so this is the diagram you have drawn. Let's begin to label it and revise it. So this was tegmentum, this was basilar pons. These are the pontocerebellar fibers going to cerebellum, breaking up the corticospinal corticobulbar fibers into such small bundles. Now the inferior cerebellar peduncle and the middle cerebellar peduncle. Medial to that, the ventral spinocerebellar tract. This is the medial lemniscus, the trigeminal lemniscus, the spinal lemniscus, basically the lemniscal band. Now this is the vestibular nucleus, the dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei, basically the vestibulocochlear nerve. Now here you are seeing the trapezoid nucleus, the superior olivary nuclear complex. Abducens nucleus, so of course ventral to that, motor nucleus or facial nerve, and here is your superior salivatory and nucleus of tractus solitarius. This is the spinal tract and nucleus of trigeminal nerve. This is the central tegmental tract. Let's label now the central three tracts: rubrospinal, tectospinal, medial longitudinal, fasciculus. And there you have a simple section of pons. This note is the lower section of pons, and therefore the floor of fourth ventricle looks quite large. As we go to the next section, this floor of fourth ventricle is going to become much smaller as you go towards the upper pointy end of the diamond-shaped fourth ventricle. So we now go to diagram of upper section of pons. For this, first thing we do is we draw the small fourth ventricular floor. You will note that this floor also shows presence of a roof because now the fourth ventricle has become very small. This roof is formed by the superior medullary velum, superior cerebellar peduncle. Let's now draw the ventral region of pons and finally the middle cerebellar peduncle. Draw the line that separates the tegmental pons from the basilar pons, and then we come to the lemniscal band. Remember that there will be 4 lemnisci because there is addition of lateral lemniscus. So, medial lemniscus, trigeminal, spinal and lateral lemniscus. These are the 4 lemnisci you will have to now draw. Moving on, let's draw the medial longitudinal fasciculus, tectospinal and rubrospinal tract, MTR. Now let's talk about the trigeminal nerve nuclei. The motor nucleus of trigeminal, principal sensory nucleus of trigeminal and the mesencephalic nucleus of trigeminal. This is the ventral spinocerebellar tract, the superior cerebellar peduncle. Here is the locus coeruleus and the central tegmental tract. Let's now draw the sections of the corticospinal corticobulbar tracts here in the basilar pons. There. Now we come to the coloring. Color your tegmentum separately, color your basilar section separately, color your middle cerebellar peduncle and superior cerebellar peduncle separately. The lemniscal band, the MTR, the nuclei of trigeminal nerve, the locus coeruleus, ventral spinocerebellar and the central tegmental tract. Finally, color the corticospinal corticonuclear fibers as well, and this is the diagram you have drawn. Let's revise this section once. This is a diagram you've drawn. Here is the basilar pons, the tegmental pons, and this here is the floor and roof of fourth ventricle. Roof formed by superior medullary velum and superior cerebellar peduncle. Here on the side you can see the middle cerebellar peduncle. These are the corticospinal, corticobulbar and corticopontine fibers seen in form of such small bundles. These are the pontocerebellar fibers crossing to the opposite side cerebellum through the basilar pons. Now let's go to the lemniscal band, medial lemniscus, trigeminal lemniscus, spinal lemniscus and the lateral lemniscus. This is, of course, the MTR, medial longitudinal bundle, tectospinal and rubrospinal tract. We'll now go to the trigeminal nerve nuclei, mesencephalic nucleus of trigeminal, motor nucleus of trigeminal and principal sensory nucleus of trigeminal. If you wish, you can draw such axons emerging out, helping to form the trigeminal nerve, its sensory as well as the motor root. Finally, label the central tegmental tract, the locus coeruleus and the ventral spinocerebellar tract. That, my dear friends, is simply how you can draw sections of pons, a lower section as well as an upper section of pons. If you found this video enjoyable, do please like, share and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. Students, do visit my website vbanatomy.com for anatomy lectures, surgical anatomy videos. What I suggest is come, join the journey of studying anatomy and surgical anatomy with VB Anatomy. Understand, visualize, learn and move forward into your career with knowledge, not just a certificate. Link is in the description section. Thank you, students. I love taking this class. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thank you.